Do it.
We are doing it.
Do it.
We are.
Keep watching the porn.
It's going. Oh,
the
keep
porn
watching
will
the porn.
come up in every episode now. Wow, he's really quick. He's really quick. That was way too fast. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the Steven and Scott Porn Podcast. It's porn all day, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. We have Foxy Cleopatra.
Oh, hi there.
Definitely taking off of the Austin Powers 3 movie, but they're just doing that because Beyonce played her. So that's why they're Foxy Cleopatra, and she kind of looks like Beyonce. It's actually really hot porn. So definitely watch all of that.
I took 8 guys at once.
Yeah.
At once.
For reals, we are Soul of a Gamer.
I'm Steven.
I'm Scott, and every week we come at you with the game we play, and last week we didn't say that, but you know what? Fuck that last game.
Yeah.
It sucked.
No, it rocked.
Far Cry 5 is the worst game ever.
We both said it was worth.
Right next to E.T.
Oh, God. And Superman 64.
They're all on the same level. I do want to play Superman 64 sometime.
No.
I mean, all it is going through fucking rings. It's just the controls kind of suck.
That's the whole problem, though.
So yeah, we hope you enjoyed last week's game, which was Far Cry 5.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun playing that game.
Oh, yes.
It was definitely worth. And here we go at our next game, which is
The Artful Escape.
This game's fucking cool.
It is really.
This game is fucking
super hyper stylized and cool.
It's just fun to just relax with it. Like it's not hard.
True.
It's not like there's no difficulties in it at all. You're just kind of like listening to music. It's kind of cool. It's sweet.
Yeah, just listen to solo guitar stuff over and over again. And there's actually a lot of bigger names in this game than I thought there were.
Yes. I recognized the main guy right away. Oh, not the main guy, but the main...
Lyman?
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, it's Apollo Creed.
Yep. Like, Carl Weathers is in this game.
Yeah, it was so cool.
And
we'll talk... Wait, let's talk about this in voice acting.
Yeah.
So let's jump into our first thing.
What's on the box?
Guess what?
What?
No box.
Oh, is it digital?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was a digital
like
game.
A digital.
It originally did come out right on Game Pass. It's no longer on Game Pass.
No, it's not.
Not anymore. I was kind of upset. Which I laughed because I bought the game because it wasn't on Game Pass, and then they put it on Game Pass, and then I was mad. But then they took it off, so I was like, "Oh, at least I still had the game."
It was only I think it was like $10 or something.
Yeah,
maybe it was 20.
I got it on sale. I think I got it for like $5 or $10.
Yeah, definitely worth $5. Maybe not 20. It was really short to be a $20 game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yes, The Artful Escape. A teenage guitar prodigy sets out on a psychedelic journey to inspire his stage persona and confront the legacy of a dead folk legend. Starring voice performances by Michael Johnston, Caroline Kinley, Lena Headey, Jason Schwartzman, Mark Strong, and Carl Weathers.
Jason Schwartzmanberger.
Schwartzmanberger?
Yeah, I mean, that's the description.
And it's
artwork's
pretty
okay.
Good description for it. Yeah, the artwork's very interesting.
It's like something's blowing up his head.
Yep, and just his mind's exploding with his vision of who he could be.
True. All right, well, that's it. That was really simple. Let's go.
Are we jamming?
So this game's weird. Like, yes, we're jamming. It's basically all music.
Yeah.
And actually, the original song in it is really fucking good.
Yeah.
The folksy one, I think that's an original.
I think so. I can't remember.
Like, I really enjoyed the music a lot in this, because that's the whole premise of the fucking game. It's like, it's just, you're either doing like a power ballad kind of background thing, or you're listening to folk music, and it's cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting with that, and the way it starts out with the folk music, but then goes into this really like psychedelic electric guitar solo kind of things towards the end. Like the vast difference between folk and like that psychedelic style of music, sci-fi electronic music. I'm like, this is so interesting.
Yeah, and it was cool. What's really cool is the fact that they had voice actors in general. Because honestly, I picture this game just being a text to chat.
True.
And I was like, oh my God, they actually hired people for this? That's crazy.
I'm really glad they actually did do voice actors.
I think it really helped serve the game well.
Oh, yeah. And like having voices that you know and recognize and stuff.
I mean, Carl Weathers right away, I was like, holy shit, no fucking way.
I knew you were going to be excited for that.
All I could picture was Apollo Creed and the guy from Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
He's the golfing coach.
Yeah. What is his name?
I don't remember. I thought it's something stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. But tell me about some of the other voice actors. I didn't look up anyone else besides Carl Weathers.
So Star Gordon is Mark Strong, and he plays Merlin in the Kingsman series.
The movie The Kingsman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's Merlin in that. He's a very recognizable person. He's also the main bad guy in the first Shazam movie. Mm-hmm. And he's just done a ton of stuff. But Mark Strong is just awesome. I love him. He's an amazing actor.
Nice. I don't know who that is, so in general,
But yeah, there's a couple other ones. None of the ones that are like really like screaming at me or anything, but those are the main ones that I know everyone would know.
Yeah, everyone except for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
But I do really like the voice acting.
Yeah, it was good. It was doable. Nothing like terrible about it. I enjoyed some of the dialogue. Some of it I was like, what are you doing here?
I will say the first like hour of this game, besides like the first folk songs and stuff, like some of the guitar solo stuff just sounded a little bit repetitive.
Yeah.
And there was times, especially like playing this a little late at night, that I was like almost falling asleep because it's just very calming.
Yeah, it is.
It's very melodic. It's just very like
It almost feels like the first part should be because you still don't know what kind of guitar you want to play, right?
Yeah, and
so you're
totally made sense.
You're playing like the worst version of you, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting, his guitar, because it's got like the fucking preamp on it. It's got the stupid speaker on it. It's got like you could play that live without having to worry about anything. I'm like, you glued all that shit to a guitar? God damn, it's probably heavy as fuck.
Right. Yeah, it's really interesting though. I think this. Oh, I guess there's not really a lot more to say about like the dialogue or sounds or anything.
It was good. Like I had a lot of fun with all the sounds and especially the music was really fun. So
yeah,
this whole game, like I said, it's all based on music. Even like the challenges, everything's music. So let's jump in.
How does it play?
This game is extremely simple.
Yes.
Like there's not a lot to it. It's basically you're walking around and you're playing Simon.
Yes.
And that's the whole game.
Yep,
and if you don't know what Simon is, it's like you hear a sound and see a color and you repeat that sound in color.
Yep.
And it's like an old school 80s, 90s game.
Yeah.
So it's like Bop It, how it says Bop It, Pull It. Yeah. Like same thing as Simon, only
pretty
more
much
advanced.
Vocalized, Yeah, I was going to say that's exactly how I said this game is too. It's just Simon. And then when you're running around, you can also just wail on your guitar in most areas by holding the X button. And then you can jump and you can do like special guitar riff moves in the air. And then you can also like slam down with your guitar as like an axe.
Yeah, it's a very simple platformer. Mm-hmm. No enemies to fight really, just the Simon parts where you're trying to just repeat what the people in front of you are doing.
And you guys know how much I am terrible at platformers. This is the easiest platformer ever.
Yeah, you might fall a couple times, but it just respawns you right back on the cliff, which is cool.
Was nice.
Which is kind of frustrating, actually, because in the beginning of this, like, everyone was claiming, you're going to die. You're going to die. This is really difficult. You're going to die. I'm like, okay, well, none of this is actually difficult.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't they, like, I don't know, that whole warning thing. I get, like, the urgency of what they're trying to express, but then that's not shown in the actual gameplay.
Well, I think they were doing it mainly just for, like, story purposes, but it doesn't do anything for player urgency or anything. Like, there's no actual threats in this game. There's no actual failing. If you fail a Simon, button combination, it just goes back and replays it again for you to try again. And you can do it simultaneously with them if you're fast enough, which honestly is the best way to do it instead of trying to listen to it all and then do it.
I mean, it wasn't either way. It's not too hard.
No.
Max notes they do is like 5.
Yeah.
So
I love that this game takes place in Colorado.
Yeah, in a fake place.
Yeah.
I didn't bother looking it up. I figured the fact that it's built on a fucking tower makes it fake.
Yeah.
So
most of everything in this game was completely fake.
It looked like an old castle or something. I'm like, who the fuck built a castle in Colorado? I know they got some down in Denver that they built for show.
Yeah.
There's no way they built a whole town on a fucking castle. Yeah, it's just and with a fucking lift to lift you up. Yeah, no fucking
Oh, that
way.
lift was interesting.
Yeah, it's all cool. Like the scenery for the game's really cool too.
Well, and I love that, like, when you're playing guitar, like, because you can walk through a bunch of these areas without playing guitar and nothing happens. But if you are playing guitar while you're walking
It's
through,
just everything comes to life.
Yeah.
like it's really cool.
it's really, like, kind of forces you to just always be playing.
Yeah, there's really no other mechanic. This whole game is so simple. It's just walking and playing guitar.
Yeah, there's, like, slight decision-making stuff. Like, you get to pick, like, the way your outfit is, the way you
what
look,
name?
your backstory, your name.
What name did you choose?
I'm the maniacal Gooey Magoo.
I was the devastating Poser 67.
Nice.
I was where was I from? The Nez something.
Oh, okay. I was from Veladondella or whatever that was.
I was from Nez something. I was a Wonder Human because it every often produces Wonder Humans.
Oh, okay.
And I was the first person to play a show intergalactically or something.
I was the first intergalactic soloist too.
Yeah, whatever it was. You get to make up everything about yourself because your original story is you're like this. I guess we'll talk about it in story.
Yeah.
But you get to make up like a little persona for yourself and you get to follow that persona through, which was really cool.
Yeah, and I love like doing like the talk show with that. You going through like the entire mall and picking your exact outfit and the way you want
The
to
talk
look.
show's before that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying you get to do both of those things to kind of pick how your story
you can
is.
basically customize how you dress in this game, but it's not till later in the story.
Mm-hmm.
You can, again, the decisions are kind of up in the air. You can be like a cocky bastard when you talk to people. You can be really humble. Like, it's just interesting. It doesn't really affect anything doing one or the other.
I didn't see that anything changed anything. It's just more of what your preference is that you want to say.
Achievement-wise, there's probably achievements that says, be a cocky asshole for every conversation or something, you know?
Probably.
Yeah.
I guess we can go ahead and go into the story because there's not really anything more in the gameplay.
Let's go for it.
It's story time. Let's get started.
What's your name in this again?
The maniacal Gooey Magoo.
No, the real name.
Oh, Francis Vendetti.
Yeah, that's right. Francis. I could not remember. It was something stupid. I knew that.
Yeah.
So Francis is he's the nephew. I don't know why so much is put on him as a not direct descendant of the guy, but whatever. He's the nephew of a famous folk singer.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really explain that in the description either, which is weird.
Well, it said legacy of a dead folk legend.
Yeah, but that's it. Legacy of a dead folk legend. That could literally be anyone. That could have been the guy who taught you guitar. Yeah. Right? So he's the nephew of a dead folk singer. It's unknown how old the folk singer was when he died.
Yeah.
I'm like up in the air between he might be 150 or he might have been 40. I mean, honestly, his mom he's only 17. His mom looks like she's 85. So I don't get it. I don't get any of it. And I don't understand what's going on. But
yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, his mom should be in her either late 30s or early 40s, but what the fuck do I know?
People can have kids at any age. Well, not any
Well, this
age,
is like in the 70s, I think. This is late 70s.
I don't even know.
It felt like the late 70s. But you're trying to live up to this legacy of that folk singer because he's very famous and he's from this town. And they're having a festival and you're like the main thing in the festival. You're going to play some folk music, but you don't like folk music.
And this is going to be your first ever show.
Yeah, at 17. I don't know why he's making such a big deal in front of 10 people.
I don't know.
He said 300 people, but I was like, it looks like 10.
It's a really, really... It's just everyone in the town and everyone who came to the town for this. The town's kind of a dying ghost town.
Yeah.
And pretty much besides this festival every year, there's nothing that goes on in this town.
Yeah, and then you're like the shining point of this town at this point because it's a dying town. Things are closing up. Another store closed. Your favorite bookstore is closing, and she's moving to a different town.
Yep.
And, like, it's clear that this town is just dying. And like in the beginning of this game, it almost feels like your goal is to save the town, but then it quickly changes like to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, but it definitely feels like going through the town. Like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to save this town from dying.
I don't know if I necessarily felt like I had to change the town, but I just always felt like...
I just thought you had to get famous to, like, make the town another bright spot.
Oh, I thought it was just either succeeding in playing this folk music to get everyone happy and get everyone off your back, or doing something completely new and pissing everybody off. It was just kind of one of those scenarios, and you had to just make the decision of
which was not
who
right
you were
either.
going to be. Yeah.
So during this beginning part, you get to play a little like folky jam, and it's not very good.
No.
And then it's called the minor thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're like, I gotta play something I want to play. And he plays the coolest fucking riff in the world. I thought that was really cool.
It was cool.
That is so cool. Yes.
You can just tell he's like more in his element when he's playing that kind of stuff and playing the folk music. You can really tell in this game like he doesn't want to play folk music, but he feels like he's pressured to play folk music.
Like by everyone around him wants him to be a famous folk star for some reason. I don't quite understand.
Yeah.
Again, he's not his son.
Well, and like even like some of the older ladies in town, like there's an old lady that's like, "Oh, I hope when you perform that you I see Johnson in you and stuff, and like I really see the old guy instead of you."
I think what I love is like they're all like, we just want to see your penis up there on the stage. Like that's all I heard every time I talk to an old lady. And she's like, make sure you flash us when you're on stage, please. Because that one lady was trying to like flirt with you because you kind of look like your uncle, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, lady. Also, why do you look so much like your uncle? Why wouldn't you look like your dad?
That was weird too.
Like I just don't. None of this made any sense. They should have just made him the
they
son.
could.
Why not just make him the son? I don't understand. Did it make any difference besides that it's more confusing as the nephew?
I don't know.
That's so weird. But anyway, you end up meeting this lady. What's her name?
Violetta.
Violetta. She is from space,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a human, but somehow, like, backstory would have been a little important in this, maybe, but they just decided not to do any of it. It's only 4 hours long. So I get why they didn't do it, but still. You meet Violetta. She's trying to steal stuff from your stage. She succeeds. You help her with it. You kind of play notes, and she tells you about Lightman's Club in town, which you've never heard of before.
Yep.
You go back to town, ask a few people about it, and all of them don't. Most of them don't know anything. The book owner does, but she doesn't say anything about it. Mm-hmm. Your mom doesn't know anything about it. No one knows anything. And eventually, at night, you see like an alien.
Yeah.
Was
it
that
like knocks on your door?
That was
Zorm or whatever.
Zom.
Zom, yeah.
Zom. Zom is there, and he's like, "You have to go to Lightman's because you're going to be
the next big thing,
our support act."
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zom is like, just I don't know. I don't even know how to describe him. Like
he's. If you remember the Jimmy Neutron
That's
movie.
Exactly where I was about to go. Except he doesn't look like that. He just floats. He doesn't have legs. So.
Yeah, he has that same glass egg thing over his head, and he's got like a brain inside.
Yeah. Much longer head, but yes, it's very, very similar.
Yeah.
I was literally about to know. Steven, you don't even know. I was like, the only thing I can compare it to is Jimmy Neutron.
That's the only thing I can think of either.
So he's an alien. He wants you to be a support act for Lightman, who is a famous guitarist in outer space.
Yep.
That's Carl Weathers' character. He's really cool.
Yep.
They did make him black. Don't you worry. He's not white. It wouldn't make any sense. Carl Weathers isn't white. It would have been really funny if they made him like white or Mexican or something. But
no, it wouldn't.
It kind of would have been a little funny. But you have to go to Lightman's. And, as you're going through the city in the daytime, like you see an abandoned place, and you think nothing of it, and then you go in the nighttime and it's Lightman's Club.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand.
I think it's like a thing that once you get introduced to this alien world, you can finally like see it.
Yeah. So you go to Lightman's Club and you have to go through the, I don't know, Intergalactic. We're going to tell the whole story, by the way, for this one because it's really short. So
you go to the long.
You meet Lightman, I guess is the point, and he wants you to be a supporting act. You don't know why. You're not famous. You're only fucking 17.
Yeah.
You find out why later, which is I thought was really dumb.
That was dumb.
Yeah. You have to go through this cool intergalactic like highway thing.
Yeah.
I thought this was so cool. This is where I really fell in love with the game because it's like the colors are beautiful. Background's actually really cool looking. Like the visuals in this game are really fucking
and
sweet.
all the transitions, like when you teleport to each thing.
Yeah, it's
that same thing where it like shows. You hear him screaming, you hear like guitars, you see sunglasses, you see fire, you see like all this weird shit, and then you transport. You go to that weird alien cruise ship.
Yeah, you go to the what was it called?
The something lung.
The Cosmic Lung.
Cosmic Lung.
Yes. So first you go to the highway, you get to the end of it, and you meet the Taste Master. Taste Master? Was that her name?
Yeah, Tastemaster.
Yeah, but you don't know she's a
Tastemaker.
Tastemaker?
Yeah, that's what it says, Tastemaker.
All right, tastemaker. So she's the tastemaker. Thinking about that now, it doesn't really make any sense.
It doesn't, but...
Tastemaster made sense because it's like, what?
It doesn't...
Well, because you're like looking for the right taste for the glamour gone, right? But then
she's not making it.
Yeah, I guess she kind of did because she kind of inspired you to get up on folk.
So yeah,
kind of by sending you to a dark place and trying to kill you.
So she is the tastemaker.
Kind of.
Well, that's what she's listed as.
Yeah.
I don't
so
know.
she's the tastemaker. She's just like this jumbled up bunch of bullshit that makes a face.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those like very surreal artist kind of things where they make a bunch of like fruit and stuff to make a face.
Yeah.
That's kind of the best way to describe
like the old like 90s cartoons used to have that shit. I think all that did that at some point.
Yeah, and he's like, "Are you God?"
Yeah, that was
like,
a really funny part.
No, but I've met her, and
I saw her once from afar.
Yeah.
She's really tall or something like that. Yeah, it was really funny. But you meet her. She sends you to the Cosmic Lung. It's just a spaceship where Lightman does all his shows.
Mm-hmm.
Basically does a tour from the lung and goes to places. And tours aren't the same thing for them. They do they play while they're going on an adventure.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool. It's a really cool
this
concept.
live casting your adventure to the stage.
Yeah, it's cool. And you get to find out that you're the support act, that you're going to be on in the like bar areas, and he gets to be on the main stage.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of aged out of this.
Yeah.
Like everyone says he's missing cues. He's not as good as he used to be. His first tour was his best tour. He's never lived up to the legacy that he created for himself.
And Violetta, she's in control of all of the lighting and effects and everything.
Which is the dumbest thing in the world. That ending was so stupid.
That was stupid.
I kind of like, I wish it was more like it wasn't the music that I wish it was like, it was the music and the lights that impressed me. Like, just change the dialogue a little bit.
Yeah.
Make it so it's 50-50. Why wouldn't it be?
But
one can't work without the other. Fucking give both props.
Without going to the end right now.
Yeah. There's not too much in between, but.
Well, I know.
Let's do it.
Just say. Violetta, she keeps getting in all these farts with farts. And
she keeps farting with Lightman.
She keeps getting in all these fights with Lightman about missing all these cues and stuff, and she keeps calling him Mark.
Yeah, which is, again, if you're going to call him Mark, give me some fucking backstory on who the fuck he is then.
True.
Because obviously everything he said about himself wasn't true, right?
Yeah.
Because everything you said wasn't true.
Yeah.
So why not give me a little bit more?
Yeah, it's very weird with that, and I think it's like kind of trying to say that like no celebrity artist or anything or what they say they are, they're what they want to be. And I mean, I kind of get that, but yeah, there's just all these like fighting and dynamics with him, and you're starting to realize like he's really playing himself out.
Yeah, he's the captain of the ship, but if you can lose that really easily if you're not impressive.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah. So the first world you go to, what was it? It was the shoot. I'm drawing a blank here because all of them are kind of the same. They're not really that different.
Yeah.
This is where your legacy starts, though. Whatever world it was, it's where your legacy starts. God damn, like everything just mixes. All I can remember is the fashion world because that one was the most interesting by far.
Yes, it was.
And then the glamour gone world because that's the last one I played.
Yeah, I can't even remember the name of the first world at all.
It doesn't matter. Whatever, the name doesn't matter. I was just trying to think of how to describe it. But was it the snowy one?
Oh, you have to do the Helitron.
Yeah, it was the snowy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point of this one is you have to meet this guy who's going to do the interview with you.
Yes.
And you go through to find him, and you play while you're doing it, and that gets recorded and beamed to the entire universe. Mm-hmm. So you find this guy, he gives you questions, and this is where you make up your persona.
Yes.
Which is, it's cool. I
actually really enjoyed that, yeah.
But he gets into the hard questions saying, like, isn't it true that you're lying about all this and that you're just a human who likes folk music? And you're like, what? No. And he, like, surprises you with these shit questions.
Yeah.
And it kind of pisses you off. And then you have to do, like, a boss battle where it's a Simon thing against him. But after that, he's like, you're really good. I'd like to present you to the entire universe.
Right.
And you're nervous about it because you don't want people in your hometown judging you for being like a glam rocker.
Yeah.
Because that's what you are basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you actually turned down the offer, which everyone's like, what the hell are you doing?
Well, Lightman's kind of happy about it. But I think
Yes.
Lightman's happy because he doesn't want you being better than him.
Yeah, he doesn't want you to become the
I
main
was
act.
Lightman's whole goal was so fucking confusing.
I don't like it.
I couldn't tell if he was like for me or against me at any given point.
He's both.
He is both. Maybe it might have been Carl Weathers' fault. Maybe he's not good for video game acting.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe they didn't really give him a good direction to go in.
Well, and it feels like because he wants you to be successful enough to help him on his journey, but he doesn't want you to overshadow him.
Yeah.
So it is both.
Because his goal
It
doesn't even
literally
get
is
met at
both.
the end. His goal is to re-meet the Glamourgon,
Mhm.
but he doesn't even do that.
No,
It's kind of dumb. Like, I almost feel like he should have.
I don't. I think it was.
No, I think, like, go out on top like that. Like, just let... Like, I kind of wanted it to be a dual thing where you not only get to showcase your skills, you get to bring him up to your level because he's trying to follow you now.
See, I did kind of like that they made it more about him and Violetta, though, and
Yeah.
pushed him
Well,
out.
kind of. Even then, they know more about Violetta.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next world, that's the fashion world.
Yes.
This
And
one's
this is-
really cool.
so
This
this
one's
is-
my favorite world.
This is where the game gets really good for me.
Yeah.
This is where you create your own look and everything.
That's after you travel through like basically a dead area. Like everything's fucking gone.
Yeah.
Like the city's dead. You make it to the underground. You do a little mini boss Simon thing
Mhm.
to get a ticket to go into the main city.
Yeah, and then they try to find the warp turtle.
Yeah. But you can't get home without the warp turtle. So you go up to the top, you find a dead city, and then this lady rescues you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's really cool.
She is. And then she takes you on that ship, and she's the one who takes you to this closet.
She's the cool thing where it's like it's bigger on the inside than it is on the
Yep.
outside.
So you go into this closet, and it's an entire mall.
Yep.
And you go through each store and pick out every piece of your outfit.
What'd you look like at the?
So I did this. I did the light jacket, and I
Yeah.
did all blacks and like maroon colors.
Nice.
And I had like these really awesome like shades, and I had the Dragon Ball hairstyle.
I had that one.
But
did-
it was all black and reds,
Yeah.
and it looked super cool.
I did like a light blue purple color for mine, and then I had the lightning bolt
Glasses.
sunglasses, which were cool.
Nice.
Had some gloves on. I put like the cool pants, the cool shoes.
Oh, I also had the skull makeup.
Oh, nice. I didn't bother doing any makeup. I just kept my face normal because I had those giant sunglasses on, so I felt like that was enough. I thought that was a cool look. Like the entire thing was actually really fun.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
right. I love the reaction of when you get to the city. They're like, "Oh my god, what are you wearing?" I am the devastating whatever. I am the maniacal whatever.
Which I love every time you say your name in the game. It's the maniacal.
Yeah, I kind of hated that.
I
Actually.
hated that so much.
Yeah,
but
I wish it would have like known to say it, but I know that's hard to do. in games.
it really almost made me feel like Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Because they say their name and then they do the stupid.
Yep. Wild stallions.
Yeah.
It's like this did feel like Bill and Ted, didn't it?
It did.
Like it felt so fucking Bill and Ted-ish.
It does,
Yeah.
honestly.
Then you get to go in this level through the entire like upper city, which is the fashion police city.
Yes.
And you have to fight the main guy who's like a fashion leader who doesn't like the way you look, and you fuck him over.
And you're like starting a riot throughout the entire city.
Yeah,
'cause
it-
everyone's starting to love your music.
Like it starts out with everyone hating you, and then everyone loves your look and your music. It's
Mhm.
really fucking cool.
I love it so much. It's
Yeah.
the coolest thing ever. And he's like, I need you to get you out of my city now. Everyone's starting to do this. It's going to take me 2 weeks to clean up your mess. Like, everyone wants your style. Everyone wants this. And I don't understand it. It looks ugly. It looks like shit. Like, what's wrong with you?
It's like if you think of what's that movie with Kevin Bacon?
Kevin Bacon, Footloose?
Footloose. Yeah, if you think of Footloose, he's like every older person in that movie
Oh,
who didn't want
yeah.
people to dance because they thought that was too sexual.
True.
And now if they come to this day and age, they'd be like, oh my God, this is actual sex. Oh,
Right.
He's talking about having sex on the dance floor in every song. All right, well, I guess this has changed.
Yep.
But yeah, that's basically that guy is. He's every person in Footloose is older.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I love when you do, like, the little, like, podcast interview
yeah,
thing. I actually wrote down the questions and the answers and stuff that I put because I thought they were kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, because they're like, we got since, like,
well,
hundreds of
that's in the
thousands-
next area.
Oh, that is in the
That's
next
the
area,
radio
sorry.
interview thing. Yes. So let's finish up this.
Yeah,
At the
go
end
for
of
it.
this one, you replace Lightman as the
Yes.
captain, which is kind of sudden.
Yeah, it's really fast. It's like as soon as the love went to you,
Yeah.
everyone's like, well, who cares about Lightman anymore?
Well, I just
It's
mean
all
like
about...
level wise, it felt really sad,
Yeah,
didn't
it
it?
did.
Like it felt like it happened an hour or two in the game, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, I mean, it's literally. I think I put 4 hours in this game and I beat it.
Yeah,
So
it just felt crazy. I was like, man, this game is fucking short if I'm already the fucking captain. Like, but yeah, you replace Lightman, you get to go downstairs and see he's depressed and packing his shit up, and he's like, hey, can I do one more thing? And this is where it's like it changes his character so much. I don't understand because at first it's like he's trying to help you, and then it feels like he's a really cool guy because he's like, yeah, can we do one more show where I'm your support act? You're like, yeah, sure, dude. He's like, I'll pick the venue. I'm like, yeah, fine, deal. Like it feels so sweet where he's like trying to lift you up.
I felt like it was also weird because I felt like he was definitely bummed and you didn't want to take it, but he was like, no, you got it fair and square. Let me do this, and it definitely felt like he was planning something,
which is fine. Like I was completely on board with that. To be honest, I'm like, that's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
And although up to this point you've heard about this thing called the Glamour Gun, which I don't. Yeah. I think they really oversold the Glamour Gun.
I thought the Glamour Gun was cool.
It was cool, but it wasn't like you look up at it until you die.
Yeah.
They kept saying like it's so magnificent that you don't do anything. You just keep looking at it until you starve to death.
Yep.
Like it's kind of stupid.
I mean, that's just alien stuff for you.
I guess, but it was just kind of dumb.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a very like dumb story. Like everything they say is so radically over the top to what it is, but it still is visually like really impressive.
Yeah, but that's why I felt like I don't know. Like if he sent us to the Glamour Gun, I was almost like, yeah, that's fine because that's what you want. Like I want you to have the best last tour of your life. Like,
yeah.
Even if I'm the main act and you're the supporting, you should be up here too.
Yeah, which I mean, like, but it wasn't about that for him. It was just only about him the entire time.
But at that point, it was, and even before that, it just felt like it wasn't. Like I don't know if he
felt like it wasn't. It felt like he wanted to help.
Again,
you.
I couldn't tell if it was just bad direction for the voice actor. Like they were saying, make it sound like you're really supportive, and then now you sound like an asshole. I was like, what?
Well, I honestly think that was good about that because it really, yeah, I do.
Like I almost felt like he should have been an asshole the whole time because you had that choice.
I don't feel like that because like that just wasn't his style. He didn't seem like he was that asshole pompous type ever.
But then he did at the end.
Well, because he actually was upset and angry at the end.
Like, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. I did feel like maybe this happened this way because the game is so short.
Well, I mean, yes.
I think if
it
we had
has
a little
to
bit,
speed up everything.
If they put 2 more hours into the game,
we'd get more backstory and you'd probably have a lot better feeling of...
Yes.
Because it happens really fucking
if it was more gradual, like, it would make more sense. But yeah, you're right. It's so fucking
because
quick.
It's in, like, this quickest succession of, like, 30 minutes of you were feeling this way and then all of a sudden you were this way. It does feel like a rapid change.
Yeah.
But I also think it makes sense to the story, the way it plays out and the way it played out. So, like, I get both sides of it, where it's like, I get it, but you also did it super quick.
I would have definitely preferred 2 more hours in this game.
Yeah.
I think another level would have really helped solidify his feelings, would have shown him, like, growing angrier, would have shown you growing popular, because you got popular way too fast.
Yeah.
Like, I get you're good,
but you're
not, like,
3 shows with him, and you take over the show after the first show.
Yeah, well, by like halfway through or quarter way through the second show, you're already like way better than him.
And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is so stupid.
So if you made it through the first 3 shows and then took over, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
And it would really pick up the story, and you could have another
or if you had a
1 or 2 missions.
4th show in there or something. Yeah. Or if you did the first 3 shows and that wasn't planned that you were doing the Glamour Gun and then a 4th show.
Yeah, exactly.
The Glamour Gun. Yeah, I think that would have made a lot of sense. But they really rushed this game. I'm sure they paid too much fucking money for the voice acting.
Probably.
And that's why they rushed it. They had probably no choice.
Probably.
But at this point, you go up to talk to Violetta.
Yes.
And she's like happy and sad. She's like, the shit has been really bad with Mark for a long time.
Yeah.
And you're like, can I get a little bit more backstory? Like, why?
Why? What's going on?
Like, seriously? Like, I get he's missing his cues, but is that why you're pissed off? Like, is it really making you look that bad?
Yeah.
Because I guess he's blaming her, because he did at one point blame her.
He's always blaming her.
Yeah. And he's like, must have been a technical difficulty. And she's like, nothing's wrong with my technical shit.
You missed the cue.
Yeah.
You always miss the cue.
Yeah.
You've been missing the cues. What, like
and I can't tell if it's like he was always like that and he
Probably.
Again, this is where backstory would have been important because it almost feels like. So I guess let's talk about the last level. So now we get into the radio thing.
Yes, I love this because they're bringing you onto this podcast or whatever, and they're like, "We've got 500,000."
Before we go to that, one more thing. Lightman takes you to the Glamourgon.
Yes. He takes you to the world, to the Glamourgon. You
Yes.
first have to make it through
a couple of things. But the point is, like, he's putting everyone's lives at risk because literally you could all die doing this.
Yeah, because the Glamourgon doesn't let anyone leave the system unless you entertain the Glamourgon. And if you don't entertain the Glamourgon, you all die.
Yeah. So which is really weird because did not feel that way when you're talking to the Glamourgon.
Well, no.
But yeah, so Violetta's really upset. You're really upset. The crew's really upset. Zom is really upset. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone is just pissed off because even though it's going to be an amazing show, it's really risky to do that with a 17-year-old boy.
And a lot of people think that he's not good enough to impress the Glamourgon, so they're like, I don't even know if your talent level can outdo his shitty talent level to the point where the Glamourgon's going to love the entire show, even if he's just your opening act, because his opening act is going to be so terrible compared to yours.
Yeah. Then they expressed that really deeply.
Yeah.
So, all right, now, sorry, radio.
No, you're good.
Because now that we know why we're there.
Yeah, so the radio thing, they say we have like 500,000 questions sent in, and then you get to pick. Yeah.
1, 2, or 3, right?
I did 3.
I did 2.
I was debating doing 2, but I did do 3.
I almost wanted to say 1 just to be an asshole. But I wonder if the last one's always the same then.
I wonder, yeah.
What was your last question?
My last one was, what was my job before becoming a artist?
That my last one? What was your second one?
Have you had any companions on your tour?
I think that was my last one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was.
And then the first one is the 3 essentials you need.
Yeah.
Every time you do a tour or whatever.
Anyway, so start from your first one.
So the 3 essentials, I put 4 miles of fruit roll-ups.
I did do. Yes. Of course, you had to put that, right? Yeah,
especially if you know the
options.
TikTok trend with the fruit roll-ups.
Oh, I don't, but
it's a very pornographic thing. You'll love it.
Oh, okay.
So there's a TikTok trend where females were telling people that you should get fruit roll-ups and wrap it around your significant others and give them a blowjob.
You can't say penis, but we can say fuck.
I guess I don't really. I was doing it TikTok style because that's always what they do in TikTok, because they don't say penis in TikTok and stuff. They try to go.
Why would you say penis? A perfectly harmless word, but whatever. What do I know?
Because if they can get it out to the most people as possible and not have restrictions, blah 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 blah.
But like everyone has a penis, pretty much.
Half of us. But yeah, it's just hilarious with that. And like after that videos went viral and stuff, fruit roll-ups started selling out like every place, everywhere.
Oh, that's funny. I bought fruit roll-ups outside of that, but that was just because
I
used to love those as a kid.
I buy them for a lot of reasons.
Is that a fruit roll-up like 2 feet?
That's fruit by the foot. Or no, fruit. No, yeah, fruit
Sorry,
roll-up
yeah,
is the
I'm
one
thinking
that's the rectangle. You're thinking fruit by the foot.
Yes, I bought fruit by the foot, which is way better.
Yes,
way fucking better than fruit roll-up.
And then
fruit roll-up are the small ones that are in like that giant piece of paper, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then the other one I had that was my essential was a flightless bird who smokes a pipe. I need to have that in my...
I think I had that too.
And then a hover car with a full tank of gas and no plates.
I didn't have that one. I chose another one on that one. I don't remember what.
And then for have you had any companions? I said I had a girl with the memories of a Korean tank commander.
That's funny. I chose one of the other ones, but not that one again.
I just thought that was so funny.
That was my last one.
Okay. And so then what was my job was my last question. And it was I put a zero gravity architect.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was like, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, and that was a fun little thing. I almost expected the same thing to happen as in the first one, where they have and who were you really?
Yeah.
Before all this, but it didn't come to that, which was cool.
Yeah.
They played into the fantasy.
So then, you get to do more performances and stuff, and then
you get up to Zom, and he's like, you're like, how was Lightman's show? And he's like, it was fine. I'm like, fine isn't good. He's like, I was led to believe fine meant that it was very underwhelming and bad.
Yeah.
It's just really funny.
Due into human conversations, fine usually means the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, true.
So, yeah, fine. Lightman's show was bad, and then he didn't think you could make up for it even being outstanding.
Mhm.
So you had to, like, write a special creature
Yes.
into it, like a creature that's been asleep for 10,000 years
Yes.
or some shit.
So then you have to go to this like sleepy town where no one's allowed to party, no one's allowed to dance, no one's allowed to do anything.
This is the Footloose town.
Yep. Then you play your music everywhere until everyone starts dancing and singing along, and then you wake up the monster. And
I almost expected this to be like Borderlands and have Claptrap go, I'm dancing! I'm dancing!
I just love that when you wake up the monster, though, it's just like, yeah, this is a good tune. And it's like, can you do me a favor? Do you want to ride? Yeah, I do.
it's really good. And the monster takes you to the tastemaker, who is the person you met who you didn't know was the tastemaker.
Yes.
Your whole goal is to get to the tastemaker because they're the one who booked the shows for the Glamour God.
Yes.
You meet Lightman along the way and you yell at him. You're like, you put everyone's life in danger, which is very different from how you've been acting.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think 2 extra hours in this game, everything would have made perfect sense.
Yes.
But because it's so quick, you have no choice but to be really angry
Yes.
now. Because I think you understand the gravity of the situation.
Yes.
Lightman just wants, he kind of blows it all off. He's like, whatever, dude, I'm fucking here to play out.
Yeah, and you kind of start getting glimpses now. He keeps bringing up your uncle.
Yeah,
you
well, he
keep
brought it
hearing
up
the name.
once.
Yeah.
And you ask him, like, have you ever heard of this person? My uncle, I think John Vendetti. Is it John?
Johnson Vendetti.
Johnson Vendetti. And he's like, no, never heard of him.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, he's lied to you because he's definitely heard of him. But I almost felt like I knew he was lying because I thought he was just trying to save your, like, be nice.
It wasn't ever about you. Like, and that's the thing that I think, I don't know, this is like, you felt like it was about you throughout the entire game, but you realized it was never about you. Yeah. And that's where it kind of like hits hard. Like, oh, he was lying to me for his own goals and stuff. He puts everyone else's lives at risk for his own goals, and he's realizing he's probably not as popular as he was, and he has to do something this big.
This is where, again, I wanted some backstory because as you're saying here, like maybe like he's putting everyone else in front of and behind him for his own goals. He wants everything in his palms. So then when you get to the tastemaker, she's like, I sense a little bit of folk in you. I'm like, you can sense folk?
Well, yeah, and I mean, because
I didn't sense any folk.
But your character still hasn't
overcome the
fact that you have to do your show. And that's still a thing for you, even because even Glom, right before you meet her, was like, you have
like 5 minutes,
like less than an hour before your show.
It's 7:05. Yeah, that's right. So you go up there and she's like, I sense folk. And she's like, well, my uncle was a folk. It's like, what was your uncle's name? And you're Johnson Vendetti. Another Vendetti. And it's like, really? This is really out of nowhere, guys. This is really kind of stupid.
So it turns out that Lightman had actually done a performance.
But Lightman was a supporting act. This is the weird part. I don't understand because they didn't give you any fucking backstory. So did Lightman, was he better than Johnson? Did he throw Johnson under the bus somehow? Because it almost sounds like he did, right? It sounds like he sabotaged Johnson's performance.
Well, it just sounds like Johnson left and he became in charge because he was working with Johnson. Yeah. And he became popular just because of the association.
Johnson really impressed the Glamour God?
Yes.
And then decided, well, that's not the life I want. I want to be outdoors and stuff.
Well, no, he hated the outdoors.
Yeah, but that's the life he wanted. Like, that's what he, remember, he wanted that. Yeah. But he couldn't achieve it because he hated it.
Yes.
And so you think he went back to Earth just to be a normal Earth person? And
or if he died in space, like we don't know any way of, we don't know how he died.
Yeah, I guess we don't know if he was famous before he went to space or famous after.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm not.
Like, I almost picture famous
before.
No, I was picturing famous after, and then he went back just to be famous on Earth.
I thought he was famous before,
and then
died. That's where Lightman brought him into there.
Oh, and then he sacrificed him.
Yes.
It could be, but you know what would have really done helped us. Yeah, backstory. Yeah. God damn it, God. Now, this is just so interesting. Like, I really do want to know it.
Yeah.
And they give us nothing. I'm like, come on, guys. What are you planning, DLC? Go fuck yourselves. Give us something.
But yeah.
I kind of hope they release a second game that's Lightman's story.
True.
Like, I really like that shows kind of what a piece of shit or what a cool guy he is.
But yeah. Basically, after that whole spiel.
You're in a hole.
Yeah, you go into this dark, depressive thing, and you have to It
shows you glimpses of your show and how everyone's pissed off because you're not there. Mm-hmm. and it's kind of stupid. Do you think the realization's dumb?
The realization
Of him being like, wait, I don't need folk music.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what?
Well, because it felt like it was getting to that way before that moment.
Yeah.
And like, you should have already, like, as soon as you change your outfit and everything, you should have, like,
Yeah.
this persona's dead. Like, I'm not my uncle's nephew anymore. I'm the maniacal gooey magoo.
I almost felt like they should have had like a voice in your head telling you, like, you can be whatever you want. Maybe you just listen to your dead dad or something, because it's clear your dad's dead.
Yeah.
I think. So maybe your dad says you can be anything you want to be. Always remember that. Like, having that as a catalyst would have been cool.
Yeah.
Right? But
yeah.
then they didn't have a catalyst. You just come to a realization.
Which, I mean...
Which is fine, I
fine.
guess, but it was just weird. It was sudden.
But then, yeah, you have that realization, you play for the tastemaker or whatever, and then she's like, all right, you're ready. You are different now. You are a whole new person.
The focused God.
And then
she sends Lightman somewhere completely different, and you
Yeah.
never see him again.
Well,
you see him again, but you don't see him again until after the show.
Yeah. So then you perform for the Glamourgon, and Violetta helps you with the performance. She does this really amazing light show, and the light show stuff is actually really
this is
cool.
where Violetta decides. There's like a little thing between you and Violetta where you want her to come out from behind the shadows, and she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So she's like, when she does come out after your show, she's wearing a fucking mask or a helmet or
Because
something.
she's got a persona now, too. She's Mirage.
Yeah, this makes no sense to me, too. I'm like...
How does none of this make sense to you?
So no, this next part doesn't make any. So after she beat the Glamourgon and beat it, like
entertain the Glamourgon.
Yeah, entertain it along with it. I don't understand how you entertain anything. You're just playing what they're playing back to them. Like,
I don't think it's them playing. I think it's
like you just playing.
Yes,
and then
but that's just the gameplay of how you.
Oh no, I think she makes sounds though, doesn't she? I think that you're playing at the same time, and the basics.
I think as far as in the game world goes, you are just an amazing guitarist, just playing your heart out.
No, I think
but
you
for
are.
gameplay, you're seeing what they want.
What I think you're doing is actually like playing with them, following them nearly perfectly. Like you see it as what you're doing, but then like if you were to be there in real life, because they're all making sounds. I don't know if you noticed this, but they're basically living instruments. Yeah, which was really cool. So I think they're just so impressive. You can follow them because they're so consider themselves so perfect, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's
it too.
Yeah. But yeah, after the show, like it kind of gets weird. Like everything breaks up.
Yeah.
Like it's just really strange. You're the captain, but you basically leave it.
Mm-hmm.
What's her Violetta leaves you. This is kind of the shitty part to me too. After the show, the Glamourgon's like, I wasn't impressed at all by your music. It was all the lights, and you're like,
well, she said she wasn't impressed by the music,
yourself.
but she was most impressed by the lighting.
Yeah, when I was like, make it 50-50. It should be 50-50.
Well, and it should be about both. Yeah. And it shouldn't be just about one over the other. And it felt like a really like way to cop out with him being like, okay, I can go back to my normal life and just be my persona.
Oh, I thought this was like just a play on feminism.
Oh, I didn't think that at all.
Immediately, I was like, are you just trying to say like the female's the lead? Because if that's what you're trying to do, just make it so you get to choose whether you're a man or a woman. Like that's what it felt like.
I didn't feel that.
It felt like they wanted a strong woman, and then they wanted that strong woman to take over the game.
For me, it felt like the entire story was everyone's pretending to be someone else. Everyone needs to just do what they feel the happiest with. Yeah. For you, that was becoming the maniacal Magoo. For her, that was becoming Mirage. For Lightman, it was finally accepting that he needs, like, no one likes his stuff anymore.
For Lightman, it was he's an asshole. And
for the
maybe killed your uncle.
For the town of Calypso, it was them realizing that
they need to die.
They could like other things other than the folk music.
I think what they need to do is pull a Far Cry 5, maybe nuke the town.
Probably.
It's probably time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you end up like you went in a new car, which you don't even get to fucking drive.
Yeah.
She gets it. I'm like, this is such bullshit.
Yeah.
I get something out of this. I don't even get paid. I basically get nothing. I get this outfit.
You get this experience. You
get and a cool light guitar.
The lessons. Yeah.
And a cool light guitar.
And light
that thing is sweet. You get a guitar that's basically all made up from light.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking cool.
It's awesome.
But she takes you through like the slipstream and past Lightman somehow. Out of all the possibilities in the fucking world, you pass Lightman and he's like, I think I'm going to hang here. You guys are going to come back, aren't you? She's like, maybe. Peace. And she drops you off at Earth, and you miss your show, but you go to the after party and you play at the after. I don't understand this either. So you have a show.
Yes.
And then you have another show. The
It's
after
an
party.
party show, yeah. Yeah.
I don't. Why not just have the after party? Have you play there? Why not
Because
just take
he
out
was-
the after part, call it a party, and play there?
Because I
don't
think
understand.
at the show he was going to be playing his uncle's stuff.
Oh,
and
and
at the after party he was
original-
playing his stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what it
That would make
seemed
sense.
like to me.
But to me, it's just like, just take out the fucking show, just have it be a party.
And like that's why he was trying to write his own
He's
folk music
minor.
at the beginning.
Yeah, he's trying to, the day of
but
the
he
show.
couldn't fucking do it, and he doesn't like it.
And he's not nervous at all that he
And-
hasn't written a fucking song for the show.
Yeah,
I did like that you go back and you play your fucking cool ass music and everyone's like,
Yeah.
you're going to be famous maybe, or maybe you're going to just die like your uncle.
the end.
Yeah, like it's just weird. I thought the ending is just really subpar. It's the worst part of this game.
Yeah.
The beginning and the ending, they kind of like got really lazy with.
Yes, and the middle part of the game is just so phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. I think they just climaxed too soon.
They really did.
Yeah, and then they like, I don't know. Normally it's a slow drip down, but this was like a fucking landslide.
Yeah,
so.
well, and like if you go through the entire like story in one sitting, it just feels so fast and
Yeah.
flashy, and like it does just like whiplashy. You're just like, what? This is happening now. This is happening now. This
Yeah.
is happening. It's like, all right, I get it. Like,
slow down a bit. Let me appreciate what's going on.
yeah, I think if they added more stuff,
Yeah, 2 hours. Again, 2 hours is all I needed. I think 2 hours of stuff would have made it better.
yeah.
Whatever. It was still fun. I still enjoyed it. All right, let's move on.
Worth, or not.
Out of all the criticism, I will say I like this game a lot, and I think a worth is worth it.
Yeah, I would say it was definitely at least like worth or a worth.
Yeah.
I think
It's cheap.
yeah, it's really cheap. It's
Probably
really,
get it on sale every couple months, right?
Yeah, I got it pretty cheap on
Yeah.
Steam. It might come back on any of the streaming Game Pass or
Yeah.
the PlayStation Store or whatever. Like I said, I actually completed this game in 4 hours.
Yeah.
4.8 hours.
I probably did in a little less. I think I did in 3.5. So it wasn't too bad. It's fun. The
Yeah.
music's really fun in it.
Yeah.
Gameplay is actually kind of enjoyable. It's really relaxing just to sit and play. You're
It
right.
really is
You could
just
fall asleep
reading.
playing this game.
Yeah. And the visuals on it, honestly, is just the best part of it.
Yeah, for
Just-
sure.
It's the coolest thing ever, especially
Yeah,
on
they-
like the
beautiful
level
game.
when you're running from the fashion world and you're just like sliding down the
Everywhere.
buildings
Oh,
and you're
it's
just
so
like
cool.
jumping in the air and you're and you're just like
can't,
yes.
We can't gush about the visuals enough.
Yeah,
Again, I think
seriously.
most of their money went to voice acting, but they probably put a lot of work on the visuals.
Oh, I was gonna say the visuals.
I think they put a lot. I think most of their money went to it. Judging by that fucking cast list.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Carl Weathers he's not famous anymore, but he was famous for a long time. So it's like,
Yeah,
he
but
probably does charge a lot.
depending on maybe they just also knew somebody who was in the game and
Maybe.
just did the
We
voice.
can only hope.
Yeah.
I mean, we can really hope. But yeah, we really enjoyed this one. So
Yeah.
thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Wait,
Oh wait.
wait. Next week's game is
Spyro.
Year of the Dragon.
Yeah, the
We're
second
skipping Riptide's Rage and going to the
Yes.
third game. That's the
Yes,
second
that's
one.
right.
So
Peace.
we hope you enjoyed it.
Bye.
Bye.